With our question of the day, and this is what we're pulsing you on this morning. What are your views on South Africa still allowing travelers from India into the country, given that country's current battle with their new variant? There's a new variant there of the COVID-19 strain. So what do you make of us still allowing people from India into the country? Let us know your views at Morning Live SABC.
Yeah, I mean, I know that the minister put out a statement last night just trying to tell people that, no, don't worry, everything's under control and we don't have any direct flights from India, and that also they've got, very strict compliance measures at the ports of entry. And I'm not sure South Africans were happy with this in terms of the assurance from the minister saying it doesn't, you don't need a direct flight. It's, you can catch flights via the Via. And, the reality is that we know what it's like when going through some kind of a very bad wave, and we saw the world closing borders to us, and it's still happening.
It's still.
In fact, as I said to you, we saw a friend of mine who was meant to be flying out of the country tomorrow, and her flight has now been cancelled altogether, saying that we're not allowing any travellers coming in from South Africa. And that was announced yesterday. So, these are the kind of things that are being put in place to ensure that variants don't get into countries. And whether we're being strong enough or not as a country, doesn't look like it. So that's what we're asking you, though. I mean,
looking
you tell
forward
us your
to your views.
Absolutely. All right, trends. Let's move on to the trending topics now and take a look at that. Bill Gates. Wow, this
yes.
This came as quite a shock last night. So Bill and Melinda Gates are calling it quits.
Yeah, they've decided this is it. And of course, people talking about all sorts of things around this. Talking about possible settlements, talking about the fact that Bill now joins Jeff Bezos as, these very wealthy, now about to be single billionaires. And some women are saying, don't judge me. If you see me, approaching Bill, don't judge me. Just don't say anything.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh! I mean, this is something. It's something extraordinary just to take a look at the wealth that is at stake here. I mean, they're talking. Listen to this amount of money. They're saying Bill and Melinda Gates to divorce with a $146 billion price tag at stake. I mean, this is what they're looking at. But look, I mean, this couple
obscene.
It's obscene amounts of money. So you can only imagine. The pair have said that they'll continue to work at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They'll still be there together. And, a copy of their filing shows that they have a separation agreement already. And, I mean, they have, there's a lot been done by the Bill Gates and Melinda Gates Foundation. $50 billion is what they've already given away. But, it's
but
a drop in the
people also
ocean,
drawing
no
on the negatives, talking about the AstraZeneca vaccine, for example, and the Gates involvement, the foundation's involvement in that, and why they needed to kind of take control of that, whereas it could have perhaps gone free, and or so to speak. But there are lots of negatives as well. I'll tell you the thing that stood out for me from all the things that were being dug up about Bill Gates was, did you know that Bill and Melinda Gates, in their marriage in a negotiation, Bill had slipped in a clause that said it would allow him to take a long weekend beach vacation with his ex-girlfriend every year.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
Huh? And she agreed
and
to
they
this?
did. Yes.
And they did every year?
Yes. The woman in question is also very well known in Silicon Valley. And
Love the fingers are tapping.
Well,
what's her name? Do we know her name?
Her name is Anne Winblatt. Blatt, something like that. But she's very well known. Google her. Like? And she is, she has made her own mark and her own fortune in Silicon Valley. Did you find her?
I got no internet connectivity.
Use your phone.
Can you tell? The Microsoft's not working.
Bill Gates, all the rage this morning.
Wow. Okay. So what a clause. Goodness gracious me. I don't know. Well, hopefully she had her own little clause that she'd have a soiree every weekend with someone.
I would hope she did.
I would hope so too. Anyway, India to SA, that's our question of the day. I think we've spoken to this one already. Just concerns from South Africans, and I mean a lot of other countries, if I'm not mistaken, Kenya have implemented a kind of a travel ban from people coming from India not to enter into Kenya. I think Nigeria as well. So a lot of people asking why is South Africa very slow on the uptake on this one? And people have still, and countries are still imposing these travel bans on South Africans, and that's a big problem. BRICS also trending on the back of all of that, and just wondering if it has something to do with the relationship that South Africa has, and if politics is at play here. But anyway, that's one of the other trending topics. And then finally, COVID. You heard our conversation a bit earlier with Professor Purin, and quite a telling conversation, just talking to the fact that the numbers are showing that there certainly is an uptick in cases. I mean, just this weekend alone, we saw 4,500 positive cases coming through over the weekend in South Africa. The positivity rate is moving up. So he is saying that we really need to, it's obviously up to the Department of Health to declare the third wave. Nobody has declared a third wave, just so that you know that. But the early alarm signs are there. So that's what the National Institute for Communicable Diseases are saying. Be alert, be aware, and please to use all those means available to us to ensure that we keep this, if it does happen, a third wave, as small as possible. So there you go. Those are your trending topics here on Morning Live. It has just reached 7 o'clock on this Tuesday morning. Let me hand it over to Sakina. She's got our latest bulletin.